Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry, it's been taking long. Fatigue hapa si mchezo na exhaustion, but I'm doing this in Swahili. Ama ninaidu na Kiswahili is to get to my country people. The minute umeona ile kwaheri Kenya and you've landed, welcome to Heathrow, umefika ama welcome to Gatwick. There are certain things unafaa kuwa umesahau na umeacha nyumbani. Hapa people have come to fend, to search, kutafuta do. So starehe hiyo tuliacha Kenya. Come make money and then you go back to the sherehe back at home. That is one. Kama wewe ni mse wa kudoze ama ni mtu unapenda kulala lala, just forget about hiyo, wacha nyumbani hiyo, iwache pale. Kwa unaona ile gate sisi tunaingiaga JKIA, unashuka gari inafanywa inspection, usingizi iwache hapo, because before you get to acquire a car down here, you have to use the public means. Public means being the bus or the train. Systems and times work here. Because one, if you haven't been told, you're not paid per month, you're paid hourly. Each and every place that you work, you get paid for the hours that you're in, the hours that you clock in. That's what you get paid for once you're down here. So ile story ati unaweza ingia job ushinde ukizurura ama hakuna kitu unafanya, no, you have to account for your hours once you've clocked in. And the most important bit ni wale watu wako na familia. Family people, you have kids, you're married, you have kids. It's a topic that I've been told to avoid. I mean, not once, not twice. And I mean, that's why I've taken so long to do this. But allow me to. If, and again I say if, you have not, or you are not accustomed to looking after your kids or after your family, family is everything once you come down here. They respect the union as is, and they respect a family as a unit. So one, getting childcare is dead expensive because you have to pay them almost as much as you're making to have someone look after your child when you're going to work. So many times, what people do is that you have to work with each other's rota or schedule. So one has to work, say, nights, and the other one works on the normal 8 to 5. Coming in, as I'd mentioned, on a dependency visa, you're at liberty. So say you have kids that are schooling and you get allocated a school that's closer to where you reside, it's to your advantage, such that unaweza drop watoi shule. If it's a walking distance, if it's a commuting distance, you can still drop your kids. Many a times, or many of the schools is from 8 or 8:30 until 3:30. If your child has after school activities, then you can pick them later, because that's what we opt for. Many of us having an after school activity that you pay for, mostly an after school activity that your child can be left behind after the normal schooling hours, to give you an allowance ukuwe umemaliza clocking hours zako za job, such that you say your child leaves, or you're supposed to be picked up, school run is at 3:30, then you can have them have an after school activity which is an hour. So from 3:30 you do 1 hour, gives you time kuwa umetoka job na uweze kufika shuleni. That is one. Two, having someone to pick your child for you. Say you reside somewhere, mnajuana na mtu. Many schools have a security or a pass key that your child has. It's unique. It's for your family. It's for your child. Not unless that child or you have sent someone with that password, or someone has gone to pick your child without that password, the child cannot be released by the school. That's the biggest advantage. So it's kujipanga, hiyo ndo cha muhimu, kujipanga. And I will not lie to you, kazi ziko, but there's a capital BUT. You work for your pounds or your shilling once you're here. That's for a fact. So say I'll give you an example. I work for a company A, and I clock in at 6 and leave at 6 p.m. to the a.m. So you're given an hour's break and paid for. So the hiring company gives you, say, you will have the 1 hour break in halves. So you clock in at 6, depending with the schedule you guys are going to work, and probably go for your break at 10. 10, clock out. Precisely. Remember I told you you're getting paid by the hours that you work. So the time that clock out, umeenda break system, and the time you're coming back, tip again, you're back. Hizo zote zina account at the end of your payday. The best thing about being on a dependency visa, one, you can choose to work on a permanent basis. That in terms of payments, you get paid at the end of the month. Or because you have bills and things, expenses here and there, people look for jobs that you get paid weekly. That's what many people prefer, because once you get into permanent employment, remember, you have to work with the person that brought you in as the main person. So their calendar doesn't change or their timetable doesn't change. You're the one who's supposed to adjust yourself na kazi yake. Because many a times you find someone say they've been brought in by the NHS, and then they're working for what? Is it 20 or 40 hours? I'll confirm that. So before they get to have their hours in, where you're at lose, you're on the lose. So you'll have to do one thing. Look for an agency. I'll talk about agencies or recruiting agencies. It's always best to have a minimum of 2 or 3, such that you say Mondays you work as a cleaner, Tuesdays you work as a porter, and say Thursdays you work as a loader. Those are the sort of jobs that you get. Cleaning is not what we know what we have in our minds back at home. No, at times you have, say, cleaning. I'll give you an example. If say you're working in a prep room where they prepare foods for distribution, your cleaning is, say, one, making sure that all the utensils that are being used are clean, the floor is clean, all the apparatus are clean. Basically, it is not as demanding because they're going to take you through a brief for you to be able to understand what the job entails. Porter ni kazi za kubeba mizigo, parcels to be specific. So you want to work, say, in a Royal Mail. Say we have something like, I don't need to be mentioning companies because it's not allowed. But say you're working for a company that does deliveries. nitumie kama posta ya kwetu back at home yenye inafanya deliveries. So that's what they do. You have to sort in and pack in. And then say you have now to move things from, say, this section to other section, this section to another section. There are manual jobs. It's not easy, because many a times you find we have lifestyles that we used to live back at home. Again, iyo wacha JKIA. Once you're here, once you manage to know how the systems work for you and for your betterment and for your sake, then you can readjust to your passion or your career once you're down here. One, you can be able to rejoin school. Two, if you're passionate, I used to be a photographer, always a photographer. One, you have an access to gear all over. People sell their gear almost everywhere. Gumtree, you have Marketplace, you have your local community pages. You'll be able to upgrade from where you are to something new. Please stop carrying loads of suitcases with clothes when you're traveling up here. Nguo, you might rattle the wrong snake or the wrong feathers, but utakuja kupatana na mwenye nguo zake zenye umevaa za mtushi nyumbani ni kamera, but utakuja kupatana na mwenye aliuza huku. Because many a times what we do is we have drop off bins za say the things that you're not using in the house, stuff them, unazipeana for say charity and everything stuff. I don't want to be the one, but acheni kubeba nguo kutoka nyumbani. One, many a times we don't even spend time in our clothes, because say you're at home, you need something relaxing. Living, you're in your uniform. Hapa kila kitu ni uniform. So the largest part of your life down here, you're in uniform. Mungaro, luku, tuseme luku ni ya weekend, say when you're not working, or those days that when you're not working, probably you have some place to be. But huku, people don't put so much into kungara, hapana. Weather's changed, so as I do this right now, we're in autumn, so we are headed to winter. So people are changing wardrobes. Nguo zenye watu walikuwa wamevaa summer, change over, unavaa nguo a little bit warm because the weather is changing. By the time it gets to winter, you change again now, unavaa nguo za winter. So you tell me, umetoka Diani, umetoka Kisumu, umetoka Limuru, umetoka Nakuru, umetoka Nanyuki. I'm mentioning hot and cold places, the highs and lows of an example of where in Kenya. Umekaa umebebana na majacket, and then you arrive here when it's summer. What will happen? You'll have to shelf all those clothes that you'd come with and now shop for warmer clothes. Kabaridi hapa kautandika. That's not a secret. Kabaridi hapa kautandika. If and only if necessary, carry at least 5. You know, if you'd have say 5 trousers, like 5 t-shirts or shirts, 5 warm sweaters. Hizo zingine beba zile necessities unahitaji home. medication hapo umesikia hapa haikuwagi easy, you have to make appointments and everything. So kama wewe ni mtu ma allergies na nini, wewe jisort na one two three things that you might need, or those things that you need. If you have kids, it's always good to carry say cough syrup, there was a fever and what have you. I'm not a medic, but I'll probably bring someone who's going to discuss about some of the things that you will need to carry as traveling with the kids. But anyway, it's been good. Cheers, Peter here.